Hi guys, how you doing? Thanks for popping by. I'm Ali, and today we're going to be covering a very hot topic at the moment, and that is the head-to-head clash between Insta360's Go Ultra camera and the brand new DJI Osmo Nano. Obviously this is completely unbiased. I've got this with my own hard-earned money, and we're just going to go with a sort of a light head-to-head, compare size, some of the specs, but nothing too in-depth. So sit back and enjoy whilst we look at these two head-to-head. First of all, I want to just compare sort of the size of each of the cameras here and sort of their form factor. The Nano is very much more like pill-shaped, a little bit like Insta360's Go's model variation, whilst the Insta360 Go Ultra is certainly more school. Just get that out of the pod. Turn the camera on whilst I'm at it. The Insta360 Go Ultra is very much like a square-shaped module. So yeah, both different in that aspect, but I've got to give it a bit of time to see which shape and design I prefer. But just from looking at it, essentially, the Go Ultra is certainly a little bit thinner than the Nano is here. But we obviously have the pill-shaped here, and then the square-shaped of the Go Ultra. So yeah, going to take some time to see which one I prefer. Probably both pretty similar, to be honest. But yeah, form factor. Obviously you have the flip screen, which is quite a nice advantage on the Go Ultra, quite like that. But on the DJI Osmo Nano, you have this sort of, it's certainly a smaller screen, but it's a sort of, it's called a multifunctional dock, and yeah, it does the same job, but you can't flip it essentially. You can have the Osmo Nano sort of on either side of it, like so, attached there, but obviously you're going to be using it like in this variation probably most of the time, if you have it connected to the dock, that is. But if not, you'll probably be having it connected to one of the accessories or your pendant here, which comes with it. So yeah, both can both monitor perfectly fine, but this one has a bigger screen and this one is a little bit smaller, but probably more. You can see that, you can hardly see, I've got it in my hand there, fits in really, really nice. So yeah, definitely bigger, the Insta360 Go Ultra compared to the Nano when they are in their sort of full configurations like this. If we just hold them up side by side, I'm not sure how well you can see it, hopefully you can, I'll crop in a bit if not, but you can see they are, if I hold them up like so, you can see the Osmo is certainly a bit, if I hold it sideways, is definitely taller than the Ultra, the Go Ultra. Obviously it is a little bit widthways, it is narrower on the Insta360 Go Ultra. However, it is, can you see? I'm not sure you can, definitely thicker from the top on the Nano. So yeah, side by side, it looked, at first glance I thought this looked quite a lot larger, the Osmo Nano that is, compared to the Insta360 Go Ultra, but side by side actually, apart from being slightly longer, this one, they're pretty similar. Like, they've both got their advantages, both are going to be very discreet. The white branding on the DJI Osmo Nano is going to obviously stand out perhaps a little bit more. If you say you've got a sort of a black t-shirt on, or a black shirt or black jumper or whatever, this has got no sort of branding on the front, the Insta360 Go Ultra. But yeah, that was the only thing that I noticed. Sort of that DJI logo really does sort of makes it a little bit more obvious if you've got it attached to, say, your pendant or something. So in terms of sensor size for both of these cameras, you have a 1/1.3 inch on the CMOS sensor on the Nano, and then a 1/2.8 inch CMOS sensor on the Go Ultra here. So similar in size, but the Go Ultra takes it in terms of the size of the sensor, slightly bigger on the Go Ultra. In terms of field of view, again, the Go Ultra will take this one. I think it has around about a 155 degree field of view, whilst this one has a 143 degree field of view. So Go Ultra takes the field of view test. So let's have a look at resolution. So the Go Ultra can shoot up to 4K 60 FPS, whilst the Nano can shoot up to 120 FPS in 4K. In slow motion mode, they can both shoot 1080 at 240 FPS. So that's pretty good going. Both match each other on that one. They can also shoot both in 4:3 aspect ratio, so you've got your standard 16:9 and what have you, but 4:3 aspect ratio, they can both do that. This has a square sensor. Unfortunately, this one, the Nano, doesn't, but yeah, so similar in terms of resolution, but however, the Nano can shoot 4K at 120, which gives it a relatively big advantage, I would say, in the world of slow motion, if you're into shooting slow motion. It'd probably be remiss of me not to talk about the max bitrate of each camera. So for the Insta360 Go Ultra, it can have a max bitrate of 180 megabits per second, whilst the Osmo Nano has 120 megabits per second. So Go Ultra takes that one. This can have a slightly higher bitrate. So now on to my favourite topic of these little cameras, and that's sort of like the colour profiles and what abilities they have there. So a big advantage of the Osmo Nano is that it has 10-bit D-Log-M, and that's just, there's like 10 billion colours or what have you within a 10-bit file, and then the log profile D-Log-M, which gives you much more flexibility when you come to sort of colour grade in your edit. The Insta360 Go Ultra it's only 10 bits. They do have a nice profile called the Glow profile, which is certainly a lot less, a lot more flatter than, say, their standard profile, which they have in camera. And that again allows you to just push the colors a little bit more in post-production. And for my tests, it does work very, very well. If you know how to sort of manipulate and add contrast back into an image, it does work. The Glow profile does work quite nicely. But having that 10-bit image there in the file and the data that's a big advantage for the Osmo Nano. And then again, the big plus is the log profile D-Log-M, which is actually quite a nice log profile. It's not technically a log profile, even though they call it that. I think it's still like some sort of manipulated 709 profile, but yeah, that's a big advantage. I quite like D-Log-M on the Action 5 Pro and the DJI Pocket 3, sorry. getting my models confused. Anyway, the Go Ultra supports active HDR, so that essentially increases the dynamic range of the camera and brings your shadows and highlights so they can be sort of exposed correctly. Don't believe the Nano has that. So yeah, HDR, if you like using HDR, some people don't like using it because of the look it creates. I personally don't turn on the HDR on the Insta360 Go Ultra, but whatever you fancy really. This has that, but the Nano does not. So Insta360 Go Ultra has an advantage with its HDR capabilities. The Osmo Nano boasts 13.5 stops of dynamic range, but you do have the active HDR on the Go Ultra. So yeah, quite a lot of stops of dynamic range for a camera this size, but there's probably a lot of software processing going on there for it to achieve that, but 13.5 stops of dynamic range is pretty solid. So in terms of color and profile, I'm probably going to lean towards the Osmo Nano because of that 10-bit and D-Log-M. So yeah, let's see what the Go Ultra, any updates brings to the Go Ultra, see if we can get perhaps some sort of log profile. But again, the Glow profile works pretty well, pretty nicely. So now let's have a look at the stabilization of each camera and what sort of processes they use and electronic stabilization. The Nano comes with the Rocksteady 3.0, and that's DJI sort of what they put in all their action cameras and the 360 cameras. Works very, very well. I believe Rocksteady 4.0 is about to come out with the Action Pro 6 when that eventually comes out. And the Insta360 Go Ultra has their flow state stabilisation, which is similar. They work. They both have their benefits, but obviously you need a very high shutter speed for them to make very good use of these. So if you like to use NDs and sort of work to that 180-degree shutter rule, then both stabilizations are gonna struggle a little bit. So yeah, both. This one rock steady, this one flow state. So both of the cameras have their ability to sort of horizon level, horizon lock, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, no real difference there. And this one has I think a 10-degree tilt correction, whilst the Nano has the sort of horizon lock feature. So yeah, that works, but no real difference there between the two. Another win probably for the Nano is the onboard storage. So you can have up to 128, there's two variations at launch, 128 gigabytes and 64 gigabytes. But you can also add in a micro SD, which makes it, which is a huge advantage. With the Go Ultra, this doesn't have onboard storage, unfortunately. All you can do is add a micro SD card up to 2 terabytes, but that's fine. 2 terabytes is huge. It's for the files that come out of these cameras, and that will last you for ages. So yeah, not a big deal, but not having to worry about having memory cards. So if you go out and shoot or something, or you bring the camera and you forget your memory cards, you can still use the Osmo Nano because of that 128 or 64 gigabytes of internal memory. If you forget your memory cards with the Go Ultra, you can't use it, which is a little bit annoying, but maybe for the next generation, the Go Ultra will have onboard storage, at least a little bit. And then it will really go up against the Nano in terms of the storage capabilities. So yeah, Nano takes it on that one. So onto audio now, and the Osmo Nano obviously integrates well with DJI's Osmo audio ecosystem. So you can pair it with the DJI Mic 3, the new one, and the DJI Mic Mini as well as the DJI Mic 2, and I think probably some older models as well. So yeah, big advantage there for the Nano. The Insta360 Go Ultra, you can actually pair DJI mics with the Insta360 through the Bluetooth connection. However, they do have their own Insta360 Mic Air, which integrates and works very well with the Go Ultra. I believe the Go Ultra and the Mic Air, the integration isn't as seamless as it could be. I think we're still waiting for an update on that. But yeah, it doesn't work quite as flawlessly as the DJI Osmo audio ecosystem does. But yeah, both have their own audio capabilities, but I'd say the Nano, in terms of the ecosystem that already exists for DJI products, this one takes it. So a feature in both of these cameras which sort of make these POV lifestyle cameras so unique is their ability to attach to anything that's magnetic, essentially. The Osmo Nano has a dual-sided magnet, so you can attach it from the back or from the side, so you can get horizontal shots or vertical shots. And with the Go Ultra, the magnet is just on the back there. So you've got one advantage on the Nano, having it on the side and on the back, but with the Go Ultra, you just have the magnet on the back. There are plenty of accessories for both of them, which we're not going to go into today, but yeah, the Nano and the Go Ultras can both attach to anything that's magnetic, essentially, and they both come with pendants in the box, so that's another big advantage for both of them. And to be honest, if they didn't have that feature, the POV cameras probably they would almost be pointless to use, if I'm honest with you, apart from their size. But I mean, you wouldn't be able to put them in such good places like on random poles in the street or on sort of air vents in a garage or whatever. Sorry, random thoughts going through my head, just to capture that like unique perspective that you wouldn't be able to get from, so say, your normal mirrorless cameras. So yeah, both have magnetic features to them that allow you to attach to accessories and pretty much wherever you can. So yeah, good. And then also a quick mention about waterproofing. Both are waterproof up to 10 meters, so no one takes the advantages there. And the vision dock and also the action pod, neither of these are waterproof, so don't go dropping these cameras when they're attached like this into water, because you will bugger them and you'll have no cameras left, unfortunately. So yeah, all square there. Okay, there we have it, a brief video on the DJI Osmo Nano, the Go Ultra by Insta360. By all means, there's a lot more that can go into it, a lot more detail, but I just wanted to really touch upon the basics of each of these cameras and what they offer. But to summarize, both pretty level, to be honest with you. I like the 10-bit D-Log-M profile that we have on the Nano, but also the low light performance on the Insta360 Go Ultra, and the bigger screen for monitoring yourself when you're recording is a nice advantage, and the ability to shoot 4x3. Both of these can do that, and this has a slightly bigger square sensor at 1/1.28, I believe, and this is 1/1.3. So yeah, going to be lots more tests out there over the coming weeks. So yeah, with these two going head to head, I'll do my own, but there'll be lots of other people doing similar things. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.